Tasting like a boss. I have Kylo of the Knights of Ren here. You are in a hoodie. I am in a hoodie. The hoodie was really necessary this morning, although it seems a lot less so right now because the sun's coming down, so I'm kind of rethinking the hoodie a little bit. You don't mind. You're loving it. He's just, look at that happy face. He's like, oh, this is the, of the 4 Chihuahuas, he likes wearing clothes the most. So he's here. Dustin's wandering around. The other 2 are inside. And I know it's been a while since I did a coffee review. I think maybe over a week and a half, 2 weeks, so I apologize. But here I am today doing a coffee review of the 5th and final of Bones Coffee Company's single origin coffees, and we're doing Colombia. Okay, now, I will say going into it, I kind of kept Colombia for last because in my mind, at least, I just consider Colombian coffee to be sort of just standard coffee. You know, when I get coffee, I just assume I'm drinking Colombian coffee. I always assume that Colombian coffee was like the #1 type of coffee Americans get. Turns out I'm wrong, but it's close to being right in that the vast majority of the coffee we get apparently is from Brazil, but Colombia is a close second, and sometimes they actually alternate. So there you go. So Colombian coffee, we got the donkey/mule there, you know, carrying the beans, the fruit, coffee fruit. Looks like maybe some sort of like enhanced version of the coffee flower here. This makes it seem a lot bigger than they normally would be. Got a little replication on the back, and the description on the back is, it is going to be from Santander, Colombia, medium roast, notes of almonds, dried fruit, vanilla, and it's wash processing. Okay, well, that's what we got. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna do a 4-way review, guys. Here, I'll let you jump over there if you want. Here you go. Oh, one more time. Oh, look at that face. Oh, so great. We're doing a 4-way review. We are going to be doing it in the cold brew for over 24 hours. We're going to be doing it in the drip from the Bones mug, keeping it Bones today. We're also gonna be doing it in espresso. And then finally, yes, we are going to be doing it in the nitro press, okay? So let's go through these ones and see what works, what doesn't work, and see if it's worth it, right? All right, helicopter. The scent is coffee. I mean, that seems surprising, but I think it's because, again, I'm very used to Colombian beans, and this just smells like the definition of coffee. Not too overly tobacco in its scent, not overly dark, not overly earthy, just a nice, just standard coffee. So let's get to the tasting, all right? So let's do the cold brew first. Have it here. Tasting like a boss. There's actually a little bit of scent coffee coming off the cold brew, which is, you know, not typical. Tastes like a boss. I really like that. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think I actually like this in the cold brew more than the other 4. This has a really neat balance of having that fruity flavor, the cherry flavor, as well as the almond flavor. It's really very pleasant. Yeah, that's just really, that's a very, very good cup of cold brew coffee. If you're someone who's used to having Starbucks, you're going to find that this is significantly less bitter, significantly less earthy. If you're someone who drinks cold brew from Foxtail, which why don't, but you're going to find this as being a lot less bright, more in the middle. This is a very even keel cold brew. It's just very, very nice. Actually has a little more fruit flavor to it, or fruitiness to it, that I typically like, but it really does work here because it's balanced, I think, by those almond notes as well. So yeah, well done. I'm really liking that. I'm gonna have to reassess, because after this 5th review is done, I'm gonna have to do a revisit of each of these coffees in the process to sort of give my final thoughts. Okay. All right. Well, cold brew, very, very good. Let's move to the drip. A much more distinct scent here. A scent that's very different than the scent that was coming off of the cold brew, not only because it's stronger, just it's very different. Tastes like a boss. See, there it just tastes like coffee. And it would just taste like coffee that, you know, if you went to a conference or something and someone's just brewing some coffee and just throwing it in there, you wouldn't even think any never mind about it. I'm not even sure if you'd say really good coffee. You might say, hey, good job on the coffee. I mean, that's about it. But other than that, I'll call this the after church coffee. You know what I mean? Like, you go to church, you go, and they've got the donuts and the coffee, you have the coffee, and there's nothing about the coffee that's exceptional. It's just there. That's what that is. So that's probably because I'm so used to just having that type of coffee, right? In that setting, that's where my mind automatically goes to. But it is what it is. That's how I feel about it. All right, let's move to the espresso. A completely different scent dynamic here. You know, where I wasn't really tasting the vanilla before, I can really smell vanilla notes here. Tastes like a boss. Ooh, very different. Very different from the other two. I like that a lot. I know it may not necessarily be your standard, like, you know, espresso beans and espresso coffee. It doesn't have that deepness, but I think I actually like it this way more than the cold brew. It's very different. It's worth it for that. Huh, okay, well, I don't know why that is. I mean, I guess I don't usually use just the standard roast Colombian beans for purposes of espresso, but I probably should do it more often. Understanding that I'm not going to be getting something that tastes I would expect espresso to taste, but still quite good. All right, let's move over to the nitro press. And for those who know, sorry to repeat myself, but for those who don't, the nitro press is just a device that allows me to put nitrogen into the cold brew. That's it. There's no cream, there's no sugar or anything else. It's just nitrogen. And this particular unit allows you to do it without cartridges, which is neat. So let's dispense like a boss. Colombian coffee, dispensing like a boss. Now that light color, we'll do a little comparison. That light color is just caused by the fact that it is being infused with nitrogen. That's it. And you'll see the nitrogen beginning to separate here. We usually like to let about 30 seconds pass by as we allow it to separate a little bit. The velvety curtains come up, get the nice little head of froth on top, which is nice. We're going to set it down as that occurs. And what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about my hoodie. My hoodie is SCAD. So it's going to be the Savannah College of Art and Design. My youngest is looking at a lot of different schools. And this is one of the schools she's looking at because of film. And my wife and I started out our married lives that if we were ever wearing a college outfit, it's because it's a college we went to, you know, whether it be for undergrad or after grad. And so we had a few things, but as we've gotten older, I don't know the last time I actually wore a shirt or a hoodie for the school I actually ever went to, because my closet's becoming dominated by schools that my oldest went to, because she's gone to two, that my middle one goes to now, and two ones that my youngest is sort of touring. And so she really likes SCAD, and SCAD is a cool place to visit, I have to admit. So now I'm wearing SCAD, but what's funny is I'm wearing SCAD here, and then I'm wearing UNF, which is another school I didn't go to, under it. So I don't know, feeling it's just a little observation to make. That'd be cool. Anyway, so let's get to the tasting on the nitrogen cold brew. So let's do a side by side. Here we go. We're gonna take a sip here. Like I said, it's very nice. You know, I do like it. It's right up there with the espresso. I like them both. how does it do with the nitro? Let's see. Tastes like a boss. It changes the flavor, but in a way that I think I'd still just go with the regular cold brew. It doesn't ruin it. It's just that peculiar, nice balance of the fruit flavor and the almond flavor in the cold brew is kind of muted down, and it pulls up a creaminess here, but it doesn't really pull up the vanilla flavor. And so what you end up getting is you end up getting the cold brew kind of muted in its flavor in exchange for creaminess, but not vanilla. And I don't like that. Not because it's bad, I just don't like it in comparison. So it's still good, it's just not as good. So for me, I'm not sure if I'd waste these beans on just regular drip. I don't think I'd take the time to nitro press it again. There's no reason to. I'd stick with the cold brew and remarkably the espresso. Both are very, very good. I think the vast majority of the remainder of this bag is probably going to be done in the cold brew just because, but quite a bit of that bag is also going to be used on the espresso because that is rather tasty. So anyway, thanks for thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. So hit like, subscribe, and share. We're near 900 subscribers, which again is insane. And I love the fact you guys support us. And if you have any suggestions, please put them down below. Any comments, put them down below. And there's gonna be some other videos I'm gonna post possibly today as well that I had already recorded before. I just forgot to post. So, because again, it's not because I've been sick or anything, I've just been busy. So until next time, people, thanks for going on this taste journey with me. And for me and the Chihuahuas, everybody else, keep tasting like a boss. Thanks so much.